and we'll move on to Fouzia Rhissassi. She's going to talk about gender studies, challenges to peace and sustainable development in Morocco.
I'd like to begin by reiterating my thanks to the organizers of this compelling conference and challenging conference, and I'm sure that we all feel that we are in a mind-stretching company, and that peace really looms large in this place. Now, what I'd like to do is to discuss with you the needs for gender studies in countries like Morocco, and to analyze the relationship, the correlation between gender studies and peace and harmony, and peace studies also. And the title, I'd like you to know, is not meant as a declaration, but as a big question. What is the purpose? What are the contents of courses at all educational levels when the issues of gender and peace are taken into consideration? Very briefly, gender studies refer to important strategies for changes that have come out of the women's movement, and they began as a critical evaluation of knowledge, as a critical evaluation of education, as a critical evaluation, or I would use your own term, as a rehumanization of the human and social sciences, which were considered dehumanized because of the absence of gender perspectives. So, and as I'm sure you know, once again, here in the States, in Anglo-Saxon studies, gender studies are solid. Gender studies department, gender studies centers are solid institutions. And there is a proliferation of courses, programs, projects on gender, and specifically on the relationship, the strong connection between gender studies and peace studies. I'm not going to talk about peace education because somebody actually is going to talk about it tomorrow. And in Morocco, it's my own point of view, any discussion of gender studies owes much of its impetus and origin to, quote unquote, the wider women's movement. Now, I would like to add the following thing. In insisting on the relationship between gender studies in Morocco and gender studies elsewhere, it might be objected, and I say it might be because I've already come under fire in my own country. It might be objected that I am denying the status and the rights of women in Islam. But the fact is that throughout Muslim history, some theologians, ulama, as we call them, some theologians have been persistently laboring, working to prove that women are deficient in reason and less endowed than men. As a result, generations, this is a wild generalization, there are no exceptions, but as a consequence, as a result, generations of Muslim women accepted certain interpretations of the Quran, of the Holy Book, as the inevitable and accepted to live, accepted the idea that they were created to live under violence, in slavery, and tyranny. And unfortunately, some of these bits and pieces of ideas are with us, and we needless to go into the details. To be on a positive verse, Morocco, as a Muslim country, but as a multi-religious country, has come a long way from the 1960s and 1970s, where there was hardly any mention of gender in policy declaration, in policy statement, in development programs. So the Moroccan government at that time was really gender blind. Okay? We used to hear discourses and speeches about peasants, farmers, agriculturalists, industrialists, and you name it, without ever hearing, I mean, they were not aware of the fact that the people they were naming were women. Half of them were women. Now, I'm not going to talk about the important legacy of the United Nations Declaration, the Decade for Women, the international conferences for women, but these had brought a wealth of cross-cultural data and enabled women to speak out, to mobilize, and to appropriate certain spaces. And I can tell you that nowadays there are many seminars, conferences, study days, workshops, Ph.D. programs, training and research units on gender studies. These activities may not always have clear-cut strategies, but they are very important, because in countries like Morocco, any occasion of women speaking for themselves and voicing out the experiences is a disruption of cultural norms and cultural evidences. So it is really very, very important. What a rehumanization of the human and social sciences also happened because gender studies don't fall and cannot possibly fall within disciplinary boundaries. And violence very often and conflict, you know, I would hate to generalize, are here, and we go through harsh facts because lawyers work on their own, historians work on their own, geographers work on their own, theologians work on their own. So the division of education, of teaching and research into disciplinary boundaries prevents collaborative research and prevents the crossing of disciplinary boundaries, disciplinary frontiers, which this process is one way to living in peace and harmony. Because when you collaborate, you unite your efforts, you think together, and you keep telling yourself, the world is too big. And the problems are too many for any one discipline to solve on its own. So, why am I saying this? I'd like to say that with gender studies in Morocco, we touch on all sorts, because what we do is multilingual. We teach in French, English, Arabic, and Amazigh. Sometimes when the resources are there, Spanish and German. And we regularly publish in 3 languages, English, French, and Arabic or Amazigh. So we try to poke our fingers, sorry for into so many pies. And we rely on our readers, students, and colleagues, okay, to tell us, to evaluate, to give us a feedback. For example, history in Morocco, in Moroccan University, history was gender blind, once again. And we did our very best to introduce, to revisit Moroccan history by introducing women, Moroccan women, Amazigh women, and also Moroccan Jewish women. Because the 2011 new constitution, which was written after what is called the Arab Spring, okay, in the preamble of the new constitution talks about Morocco as multi-ethnic, multi-religious, although it says that religion is Islam is the religion of the state. And it talks something which I would really, it talks about our multiple cultural heritage, including the Amazigh, the Hebrew heritage, the Mauritanian, and you name it. So there are now courses on Jewish history. And some of our colleagues, may peace be on them, Al-Malih, were Jewish people, Moroccans of Jewish Moroccans. And they play the leading role in the democratization and modernization of Morocco, to say the as far as Islam is concerned, I think women have made a praiseworthy effort to open the door of ijtihad. That is to say, to reinterpret certain texts in the light of the context. Okay? And this way, and the personal status law was replaced by the new family code. And what is really, I think it's a godsend, even the law of heritage is being revised and discussed nowadays, that man and women, although some interpreters of the Quran say that it is forbidden. Now, I won't say anything about peace education. I think that if men and women continue to be committed to gender studies, the future is full of hope and full of peace and full of harmony. And thank you.